Hi, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Cantey, and this is another episode of Living Enlightened Every Day. Today, I'm talking about creating change, creating the changes that we want to see in our lives rather than being subjected to the changes that we know are coming. If you like this, make sure you hit like. It helps a lot. Hit the subscribe button so you get to know when all the videos are coming out, and share it with a friend who might need some new enlightened insights. So, how do we create the changes we want to see in our lives rather than be subjected to all the changes that are going on? Change really is the only constant in the world of form. Change is not only inevitable, it is a universal principle because spirit in its expression never hits a ceiling, it never limits itself, it's never stuck or stopped. It is forever unfolding into a greater and greater expression of itself. It's never stagnant. And that doesn't mean, when I say spirit itself, consciousness, awareness, the Tao, Brahman, God is changeless, timeless. It's not located in time or space, but in its expression as you and me in the world of form. It is the very principle of change, of growth and expansion and creative expression. Because we are the very emanations of spirit itself, we are gods and children of the Most High. We can manifest and create the changes that we want to see in our life. We can manifest those changes, and we will most certainly be subjected to the changes that are being manifest all around us because they will continually happen all around us. I spoke in the last few weeks about the ultimate law of attraction, and in some ways, this is very much connected. So I encourage you to look at the ultimate law of attraction and how it works in our lives. The last two podcasts, but we're looking at creating change, and in some ways, attracting the changes that we want to see. So we need to know that whatever comes in form, the effects in the world will go. Whatever comes will go. Whatever is birthed will die. Nothing is meant to last. Not the sun or the moon or the stars, not us. It's all impermanent. And to hold on to anything in the world of form is, it causes pain. It causes suffering. The Buddhists say anytime we try to hold on to something, either one of two things happens: it goes or we do. It changes or we do, right? It disappears or we do. Something something will change. So we don't try to hold on to what we've created or what we have, but instead we continue to create and attract and manifest the changes that we wish to see in our life so that we can be in the flow of the greatest good that is happening around us. We can be always in a greater and greater expression of spirit as us. When Gandhi said to be the change that you want to see in the world, he was speaking a spiritual principle. The law of attraction. Sound familiar to anyone? If you've watched the last two podcasts, it's that like attracts like. and that we don't get what we want, we get what we are being. And we've already gotten what we have become. So, what is surrounding us in our life right now is a reflection of who we are being. And so we get to choose. When we choose to stand in more love, to be more love, instead of asking those around us, give me more love, please show me more love, tell me that you love me. Instead, we stand in the principle of ourselves as love. We become the change that we want to see in our life. As the divine expression of love, we become a greater and greater expression of our truth, of our true nature. We bring that love into our relationships. And in doing that, we allow our partners, our friends, our friendships, our family, all of our relationships to express themselves at a higher and greater degree or expression of love. We have become the change that we want to see in our life. And if we want more peace, we don't have to look for a place to be peaceful, be quiet. I'm being peaceful now, right? We, yes, we can do that. That's a great way of carving out some time for yourself for a wonderful meditation. But we can simply turn within and choose to recognize our divine nature as peace. We are peace. We can claim a greater and greater expression of peace and calm in our lives. We are the very principle of peace. And we can then bring that peace with us. We carry it with us into conversations, into every situation, into every decision that we make. There is peace because I am it. I have become a greater expression of peace, and it shows up in my life, reflected back to me in the relationships, the situations, the events, and all the decisions that I make. I become the change that I want to see in my life. I don't have to wait for the kids to leave the house or for the vacation or for the meditation to experience peace. I can experience it right here, right now, in this moment, whatever is happening. And when I want more health, I believe there is a divine archetype of our health, our individual health in the mind of God itself. We are created in the image and likeness of the divine. Do you not think that there is that perfect idea of you and of me, our body, our mental well-being, our emotional well-being? It's all in there. So we align with that. We accept it. We identify with it. God is who and what I am and is my very health and healthy expression. It's in the very cells of my being, in my body, my physical body, and my mental body, and my emotional body. And I just rest, I just allow this living presence to come through me, through prana, through chi, as a greater and greater expression of health in my body, in my mind, right? I breathe in that life force energy and become a greater expression of my idea of health. I stand in it and I become it and I create the change. Buddha says that we are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. So we can say when the mind is pure, health follows like a shadow that never leaves. When the mind is pure, love follows like a shadow that never leaves. It is added to us: health, love, joy, peace, abundance, and prosperity. In the Jewish scripture, it's written that as a man thinks, so he is. Our thoughts are really, I should say, our habitual thoughts are really sending that signal out to attract back to us, reflect back to us the situations, events, and circumstances in our lives. So when we want to change any of them, we become the change we want to see. And we can do this by changing our thoughts. I believe that we're here to create our own unique heaven on earth. You never forget what they told you. We don't have to wait till we die, as some religions have told us. And we don't have to wait until we become enlightened, as some religions might tell us. We know that heaven is right here, right now, in this moment. It is in within you. It is, it is within you and within me. It is the essence, the nature of who and what we are, this kingdom of heaven. We're all capable of standing in it right now. It is the moment that we choose to become what we wish to see in our lives. The only problem really has been that no one taught us that, right? I know my parents didn't teach me that, and I'm quite sure it's because their parents didn't teach them that, and their parents didn't teach them that. And I know that the schools are not teaching it. In school, it's like, make a good grade, be good, sit still, be better, be smarter. And in college, forget about it. Be better and smarter and even smarter. And in jobs, in that work culture in North America, it's be better than the competition or lose your job because there's not enough to go around. We're being told all the time about lack and limitation and competition, and our thoughts get inundated with the way the world works out there. But we're learning to listen to that small, still inner voice, the truth that is ancient wisdom, this perennial wisdom that has been passed down throughout the ages, but it is within each of us. We don't even have to read a book when we are still within ourselves. We can often hear, not in words, maybe, but we sense and know that I am God, and that everything that we need or want is taking place in consciousness, in awareness, in presence, in love first. And then we realize, we're not here to compete, be smarter, be better, be richer, be anything. We are creative beings. We are unique and incredibly unique. We are here to create. Einstein said, the most important question that you can ask yourself is the universe a friendly place? I mean, what? Why? Why is that the most important question you could ever ask yourself? Because if you can answer that with a resounding yes, the universe is a friendly place, then you live in paradise, right? You're living in heaven on earth. You've created paradise because when you're walking down the street and you're walking the dog and you think, wow, this is awesome. I live in a great neighborhood. This is great. The universe says, yes, this is awesome. This is great. You do live in a great place. And when you're driving your car to work and you say, wow, this is interesting. I've never been this way to work. This is a great route. The universe says, yeah, this is great. And when you're talking with your friends and you think, my friends are so cool. I have the best friends in the world. They love me no matter what. And the universe says, yes, yes, you have great friends. You are loved. And we know there are people who don't think that way. They think the universe is not a friendly place. And they can tell you all the reasons why. They say life is hard. And the universe says, yes, your life is hard. And they say, I never seem to be able to get what I want. And the universe says, yes, you never seem to get what you want. And they say, relationships are difficult. Money is hard to come by. Life is unfair. And the universe says, yes, yes, yes. And the universe is not a friendly place. They would never say they're living in heaven. We can choose. How crazy is that? We can choose. And it doesn't even matter what we've chosen before. We can choose again this day, this moment, right now, to stand in the kingdom of heaven. Wayne Dyer said, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. Right? So when we live in a friendly universe, the things in our life change. We create that change. So whatever we decided in the past, whatever we learned about it or thought about it, we can choose again right now to be the change that we want to see in our life. Right now. And where does our paradise, our heaven exist? We know it exists in consciousness first, in mind, and in spirit, in the mind of God and our mind. It's right here, right now, closer to me than my breathing, nearer to me than my hands and feet. And how? I'm going to talk about how we create this change. How do we become the change we want to see in this world? We create in consciousness first. You know, we can run around out there and start fixing and fixating on all the situations and events and circumstances or relationships in our life, right? That's going to take a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort. And frankly, it doesn't even work. I'm just going to be honest, because change is powerfully, incredibly powerfully in consciousness first. And the first step is that we recognize the truth of our being. I say that a lot. I might say it every single time. Our true nature, realizing our true essence as emanations of spirit itself. Jesus, one of the master teachers, would pray and left some ideas about how to enter that kingdom of heaven in order to create the changes that we want to see in our life. And Jesus would say, God, our Father. And we would say, God, all that there is, omniscient, omnipresent, everywhere, everything, one, life, manifesting itself as all. We would say, I recognize oneness and wholeness. And I know that if God is all that there is, then God is what and who I am right here, right now. I know that I am an expression of this one life of God. God is fully and completely expressing as who and what I am. We're unifying with all that we know of God and Spirit, as Jesus did. And as I know the truth of who I am, as I rest, as I go inside the closet and shut the door and I am still, and there is that still small voice, this feeling, this knowing, a simple awareness that I am fully, wholly, complete right here, right now. I do not have to wait for anything to happen to be complete. I am it. Health, wealth, abundance, well being, joy, peace, love, compassion, clarity, all of it right here, right now. I can know this for myself. And as I am able to know this for myself, I can know this about anyone because there is only one. So I can know this truth about anyone, but we're talking about creating changes for ourselves right now. But I know that everyone, everything, everywhere is this one life expressed. I'm completely unified, one with it. And here's the good part, right? We realize, make real for ourselves from this space of wholeness and unity that which we want to become. From this space, it's so easy. Just as we rest in the stillness and the silence, isn't it easy to just know and declare and claim, I am love. I rest in it. Now I sense it and I feel it. And sometimes in a prayer, in a meditation, in a moment, we can sense that love is radiating through our entire body. I am health, and I can feel that chi, that energy pulsating in my physical body, in my spiritual body. I am uh, the perfect expression of creativity and career, in a divine career, right? I have more loving relationships. Whatever we want, we can claim it in this space, from this space. We can see it even happening in this space, from this space. And we simply know it. We're resting in that kingdom of heaven. There's nothing opposing us. There's no opposite. There is no argument. We realize the truth of our being. Wow. And so it is. We feel it so passionately. We're filled with that truth until we can say it no more. My body, my mind, my spirit fills with that appreciation, with gratitude. That's how you know it's done, because you see it, you've received it. You can anticipate it. It's already happened in consciousness. So it's just this incredible feeling of gratitude and appreciation. Jesus said, "Thank you, Father." And we say, "I am grateful, Creator, life, unity, all that there is. I am grateful to know and experience the truth of my being expressing now." And then, as Jesus said, "It is not I who does the work, it is the Father before me who does the work." We say, I don't make anything happen. I didn't make these laws, the principles, the law of attraction, the law of manifestation. I know it is done because I sensed it, I felt it. I'm abiding by the law and it is done. There's nothing I have to do to make this happen. I rest in it. I let it go. I let go, let God. Wow, what an incredible feeling. We don't make laws happen, we abide by them and flourish. We flourish. We prosper, we grow, we create change. And so it is. And so we allow it to be. So in those how many minutes did that take me? A few minutes, right? We've just created the changes we want to see by becoming the change in consciousness that we want to see, in mind, body, and spirit. Can you feel that? That's happening. That's real. And then what happens? 3 weeks later, 3 months later, 3 days later, I look back and I go, wait, what happened? I sat in stillness. I envisioned, I became, I knew, I felt it. And sometimes we'll get that thing, God never listens to me. My prayers never get answered. Why do some of my prayers get answered and not others? What am I doing wrong? What happened? Right? That interesting questioning that the finite mind likes to go through. But let's really look at that. Because I hear this all the time. Let's go back to that moment where I knew the truth. I stood in it. And absolutely nothing could have been more clear to me in that moment. You know, and then 8 hours later, right? I go to bed that night, and 8 hours later, the alarm goes off. And before I hit snooze, bam, I hear that alarm go off. And it's like, oh, Monday. I had to go to work. I trudged on to the shower and I think, oh, it's Monday. I have got to go to Fernandina. I hate going to Fernandina. They never buy anything from me in Fernandina. I don't even know why I bother to go to Fernandina. And I brush my teeth and I'm thinking, that guy in the office there, he's so snarky. I know he's going to say something about my car. So rude. And I grab my coffee and I trudge out the door and I open the car door and I think, oh, no wonder he's going to say something about my car because my car is a piece of trash. I can't even believe I'm still driving it. Maybe it'll break down and I won't have to go to Fernandina. Okay, that's the mind spinning, right? Is it just me? Happen to anyone out there? The mind just spinning the way it always has, creating the experience that I always have on a Monday when I have to go to Fernandina. But what can we do? What can we do? Because we knew it, we stood in it, we became the change. Well, there's an old saying, it's been attributed to many different people, many different religions and philosophies, but I'm just going to say it. Watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions or your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character because it becomes your destiny. Anyone heard of that one? It's been attributed to many people, but the truth behind it remains strong and it is represented in many mystic traditions. But in the example that I gave before, I've gone from this perfect knowing, from this beautiful place, from this change that I created, right? Back into what? The same thoughts and words that I used in the past, and the actions and the habits that had become part of my character, and that really became my destiny. People say, "What's up with Elizabeth?" Oh, it's Monday. She hates Monday. She has to go to Fernandina. Like, people know that's who you are. That's what you do. Those are your habits. Your destiny is pretty much carved in your own little rock, let's say, your own little stone. It's what we've created and what has shown up. And so the first step in the creating, we already know, is in consciousness, and consciousness first. And we were there. We stood in it, right? We said, God is all that there is. I am that. This new job or promotion, it is in my highest good. And I create the changes I want to see in my life. And I am filled with gratitude and I let it go. And I know now that before that alarm goes off the next day, I am going to create new thoughts, new words. And what is that? What does that look like? Well, sometimes we call them affirmations. So Please don't think any of you are above writing down those affirmations, those new thoughts. Allow them to flow up through you. I am worthy. I am creative. I deserve a new promotion, this promotion that's coming up. I can release the past conditioning. I let it go, like shedding an old skin, and I embrace a love and a passion and a creativity at my workplace, right? I write it down on sticky notes. Yes, I still do that, whatever. The first one I'm going to do is place it on my phone. And when that alarm goes off, I'm going to pick up my phone. And before I can hit snooze and before I can complain about driving to Fernandina, this sticky note is going to say, today is a beautiful day. It's a new day, a new beginning. You chose it. And now you choose to live it wonderfully. And I look at that and I go, wow, yes, I did. This is who I am. And I go to brush my teeth, and on the mirror is a sticky note, and it says, everyone you meet today, you will see the face of God and a new opportunity for friendship and camaraderie. I'm like, whoa, that's different. Yes, yes, I will. And I grab my coffee, run out the door, and I look on the steering wheel of my car, and it says, thank God I don't have to take the bus to Fernandina today. Thank God I don't have to walk to Fernandina to my job today. And I say, yes, yes, I'm so grateful. And I get in my car and I am having a new day. It's the first moment of creating the change that I want to see in my life. Has anything really changed? Nope, just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. Some words right now. I have the thoughts, I have the words, I've done it, right? The next step in creating the changes we want to see is creating the new habits, actions, actions that spring from these new thoughts and words, from that place within where we recognize the truth of our being. Michael Beckwith says, action without vision is chaos. Action, meaning doing, without that first vision, which is what we did when we were still, we could see it happening and unfolding. We knew it was the true for our essence, our nature unfolding. So action without that vision is chaos. It just means we're doing a lot of busy work, running around, wondering why our good is not showing up. It's because our old habits are running the show. We want to create from that vision of being the change. New habits, new actions. He also said vision without action is fantasy. It's make believe. If we leave everything in that moment where we just had this incredible vision of how our life could change, but we don't become aware of the past conditioning that is running from the past, it's running our habits and building our character and determining a destiny that we've decided we want to change. If we don't do anything differently, why would we expect a different result? We all know the wonderful definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. We can't just wish for a different result. We create a different result. We dissolve these old habits and we create new actions, just like we created new thoughts and new words with the sticky notes, just a few, just one or two or three, three new actions, three small actions that we can imagine growing into habits. They don't have to be monumental. They don't have to be earth shattering. I don't have to go look for 5 hours for a new job or uh, I don't even know. We don't have to make them ginormous or crazy. Just Make them small and doable. Make them fun and enjoyable. Maybe we carve out 3 minutes to sit in our car before every meeting and know the truth of our being. Know that we're going to see God in the face of the other no matter what, meaning no matter what they bring to the table, right? Or that we see the truth or the good in the situation that we're in, right? 3 minutes, we can all do that. We can all just breathe and call up that knowingness that we had of becoming the change we want to see. And what's another action that we can do? What's something small and simple? How about being grateful for everything that has led us to this point? For all the people that have hired us or inspired us up to this point. If we're looking for the new job, gratitude is a great little action with a big, big payoff. Being grateful, whether it's creating new opportunities in a career or in a relationship, in any situation, it's gratitude is just shifts everything. So create 3 actions that match those changes that you want to see for yourself in your life. And you can tell they're small. We allow those actions to become habits. They develop into our new habits and help create the changes we want to see. In biblical terms, 40 is this wonderful spiritual number. It represents the amount of time where things can change. 40 days, things can transform themselves. Ancient wisdom, I'm a big fan of 40 days. Not that it takes 40 days, but when we commit to this process for 40 days of creating, becoming, and creating the change that we want to see, 40 days. I mean, I'm going to look at the 40 years that I've been doing what I've been doing. 40 days is nothing, right? So now we've just created the changes we want to see in our life. We are that infinite expression of the divine, and we get to choose what we wish to express in the finite. We get to choose to create, co-create in this finite world. So we create in consciousness first. And in consciousness, really, there is no time. It takes no time or space to be the change we wish to see in the world. When we were still and had that vision of who and what we are, that is the reality. That is the eternal, changeless, timeless truth. And yet, sometimes there's a big but. In our time space reality, we don't see the changes that we really thought we were creating, especially when it's something that we have an emotional attachment to. We have the mental attachment. We've created habits that are deeply ingrained in our psyche that have really affected our character and have thus far really shaped this destiny that we can see will continue unless we create change. So we go through these steps. Creating consciousness, change our thoughts, change our words, put them on sticky notes, on your phone with an alarm, on the refrigerator. Put them on your forehead if you have to. I don't know. Do the actions, the 3 small actions, that will become these habits, and do them ones that are fun, that are enjoyable, that are relaxing, inspiring. Maybe it's reading a poem or listening to a YouTube or a podcast, right? Change your character, change your destiny. Einstein said that the world as we have created it is a process of our thinking, and it cannot be changed unless we change our thinking. And Ernest Holmes said, man already has within him the key to freedom, but he has to come to realize his relationship with the whole, which is life, universal presence, or God. And his relationship to the whole is always one of complete unity. So as we step into that which we are seeking to change, as we step into a greater expression of the love that we already are, as we step into that greater expression of the peace that we are, the prosperity and abundance that is our nature, as we step into new relationships, new career, whatever it is God's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Asking, recognize it in ourselves, becoming it within ourselves, seeing it unfold in consciousness, and knowing that it is done. It's creating in consciousness first. Thoughts, words that affect us and move us and come from that space where we can hear that small, still voice, creating the actions that come from that consciousness that will create in us the habits that move us into a new definition of our character, point us towards a new destiny, a greater unfoldment of our highest expression, a greater expression of love and joy and peace. And isn't that what we're always wanting anyway? If it's the job or the relationship or the promotion, if it's the new house, the new car, it's because we think we'll be happier. Let's create the changes that allow joy to flow through us even more. We absolutely know that God is right here where we are. In this room is heaven on earth. In this moment right now, heaven exists as you, as me. I talk a lot about these practices and principles in my book, Living Enlightened, The Joy of Integrating Spirit, Mind, and Body, and that's available now on Amazon. The link is in the notes or listed below. And I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment or review, and you can learn a lot more about this subject and more at elizabethcantey.com. I'm always excited. I'm passionate about helping people to integrate spirit, mind, and body in order to live each day with that sense of purpose and passion and fulfillment. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Elizabeth Cantey, and this is Living Enlightened Every Day. Join me every week for a new insight into how we can love our life, live our passion, and create the changes we want to see. Be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. You won't miss any episodes. And share it with a friend. Maybe they would love to hear how to create changes in their life. Remember to laugh, love, and live enlightened every day.